Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been any place else in the world, and it may not be too late. But since you're here, may as well make the most of it. Okay. There we go. There's the slides. There we are. Okay. I know. I know. Just wicked, isn't it? Let's see. Who's here? Nope. Okay. 1 second. There we go. So, Judy Matasid, thank you so much for being here first. Followed by Lydia Washington, Joya Moore, Rodney Jackson, Gwendolyn Daniels, Mama Janet, Big Mama, Connie Bowmer, Nobi D, Mary H, Fancy, Brenda Gray. Let's see. Did I say Kathy G? Poliver Girl, Rodney Jackson, Wendy Jackson, right? Or is it Sign? Sing. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Peace and Joy, CK, Calavetta, Najagu, thank you so much. Vaughn, Jules Ryder, and a host of friends and others. Okay, so all right. Perfection. Hey, Marshar. Faith Walk with Monica. All right. Carol Lunn, Tara Levette, Cool, and the gang. All right, let's get on with it, shall we? So, hopefully, you know what? There is a. I just noticed that there is a update for the system. Let's hope this system update takes care of the microphone issues. Okay, let us hope that the system update will take care of the microphone issues. And when I say system, I do mean the iOS. Sometimes there could be a little bug, a little gremlin in the system, and that can cause the problem. So I'm going to do the update tonight. And I hope once and for all, we're done with that little glitch with the microphone. Okay. That being said, let's move on. So, right royal mess. A right royal mess, as per usual. But before we get to all of that, Prince Harry has long been known for being an outspoken advocate of mental health issues. Harry says we all have mental health in the same way that we all have physical health. It's okay to have depression. It's okay to have anxiety. It's okay to have adjustment disorder. All of those things are okay. Well, Fortune Well, which is, I suppose, an online magazine. I've never heard of it before, but Prince Harry has long been known for being an outspoken advocate of mental health issues, and he spoke out. And so, actually, the thing is, this is not anything new. It is actually them sharing the video that he made with, the guy right there. What is his name? Prince Harry recently sat down for a conversation with Jonathan Haidt about mental health and smartphones. Yeah. And you could also, I believe you can also find that video available on the Archwell website. Yeah, I do believe they still have that available on Archwell website. Well, they made it available through this magazine article. So obviously riveting and important information that they decided they needed to share it again. So if you would have not seen it and you would like to see it, it's about 20 minutes long. But I would say look for it on well, you can try that magazine article. Let's see, what is the name of it? Fortune Well, if you can look that up. Well at Fortune, Fortune Well. Oh, yeah, that was their Twitter, Well at Fortune. So Fortune Well, that is the name of it. Okay, moving on. Royal family gets another Meghan Markle in Eleanor was it Ekserdjian? Ekserdjian? Ekserdjian, following her Sandringham debut. Now, that comes from Pakistan Today. That's their words, not mine, but they are saying that the royal family to get another Meghan Markle in Eleanor Ekserdjian following her Sandringham debut. What do they mean by that? Well, as you know, Meghan was the first non-married woman to walk with that family on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. The first to walk to church with them. That is a rule that Queen Elizabeth decided to bend in favor of the future Duchess of Sussex. But at the time, the American actress Meghan Markle. This Christmas, a new face joins the royal family traditional walk to St. Mary Magdalene Church in Sandringham. Eleanor Ekserdjian, the girlfriend of Princess Margaret's grandson Samuel Chatto, accompanied him for the festive outing, marking a significant milestone in their relationship. Samuel, 28, stood out in a Highgrove scarf, a merino wool piece gifted by King Charles last year, as he and Eleanor strolled with other royals. Eleanor's presence is notable as traditionally only married partners attend the Sandringham Christmas Walkabout. The exception recalls Meghan Markle's groundbreaking appearance in 2017 as Prince Harry's fiancée ahead of their wedding 2018. Their 2018 wedding. Now, again, I'm going to point out the big difference. They have not announced an engagement. Meghan and Harry's announcement came just after Thanksgiving back in 2017. Well, this time there's been no announcement, so we don't know 100% for certain that they will marry. In all likelihood, seeing that things are so serious and moving in that direction, I don't believe he would invite someone there unless he presumes marriage is in the works. So, and I also feel they probably would not feel good about him inviting her if he had any doubts that they would marry. So they may have told the family about an engagement, right? And perhaps the family knows, but they have not made a formal announcement. So stand by for that in the coming days when they should likely make a formal announcement announcing the engagement of the two lovebirds. Antoinette Kennedy said, when soon as she finds out how that family works, she ain't staying for long. She ain't gonna stick around that long. Wait until she finds out how things work around there. She'll be out of there faster than you know it. Faster than you can say jumping jack flash. So take a look there. You can see um, the two lovebirds walking. She's wearing a tan coat, looks like a mock turtleneck, and a black beret. Gosh, she looks militant. I love it. And of course, he looks like her little brother. But apparently, that is a grown adult man, not a high school kid. But he has some pretty serious looking hair. So, and why is what's his name back there? The guy that used to be the equerry. Why is he still hanging about? I thought he had married and moved on. Is he still working for that family in some capacity? I don't understand why he's there. Eleanor, a multidisciplinary artist, graduated with a master's in fine arts from the University of Edinburgh in 2019, the same university Samuel attended to study history of art. Known for her unique approach to art, Eleanor's recent work involves creating drawings inspired by silent films. By projecting films onto paper and drawing over them. Really? I think I could do that. She captured the emotional and visual language of the medium, transforming them into lyrical landscapes of anxiety. Uh-huh, you don't say. Now that's that art gallery talk. That's that way that they talk in those art galleries. They talk like that. Next thing you know, you done spent $10,000 or $20,000 on a painting that is like the machinations of some insane person. Okay, the Sandringham appearance signals a significant step in Samuel and Eleanor's relationship, with Eleanor making a poised debut among the royals. Her artistic background and connection to Samuel continue to draw interest as she seamlessly blends into the royal tradition while carving her own unique path. Now, I'm just going to say, I think she was kind of, let me see here, tan coat, right? Big tan coat. I don't know. I mean, anybody could wear a double breasted coat like that, but it seems to me that silhouette looks somewhat familiar, right? A beret. And anyway, I mean, maybe not. Maybe there's nothing to it. So we'll see what happens. Take a look right here. Samuel Chato, 28, has since 2021 been seeing fellow Edinburgh University graduate Eleanor Ekserdjian, who is an accomplished painter, both in 2022. And beneath that, it says, and with their joint appearance at the Regal Norfolk festivities on Christmas Day this year, the happy couple are sure to have sparked engagement rumors. Eleanor Ekserdjian is a multidisciplinary artist creating installations. Her most recent body of work responds through the act of drawing a highly distinctive visual language and emotive power of silent film, resulting in a series of gestural pieces. Now, take a look there. That is one of her works. That is her interpretation of her beau, Samuel. I think that's beautiful. I love that. I love the way it's kind of incomplete, like the back of his head is just a line and all of the image is kind of to the, you know what I mean? I think that is very, very nice. That is really nice. So she definitely has talent. She does have talent. It reminds me of that music video Remember the music video? Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me, I'll be good. You know what I mean? It reminds me of that, the way they had all the etching and sketching and drawing and everything. I think that was the most creative music video I've ever seen in my life. If you have not seen it, that video, I can't even describe it. It was like the art became alive, right? Anyway, that was a great music video. So that's what that sketch reminds me of. Now, yes, Aha. Thank you very much. That was the name of the band, Aha. Take on Me by Aha. That was the name of the band. Thank you so much, Poliva Girl, for remembering that. They had to make this about Kate Middleton. They had to make this about Kate Middleton. Why does everything have to be about Kate Middleton? Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Why does it always have to be Marsha, Marsha, Marsha? I feel just like Jan Brady. I do. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Why does it always have to be Marsha, Marsha, Marsha? We're tired of Marsha. Marsha deserved that broken nose that she got. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Anyway, they just had to make this about Kate Middleton. How Kate Middleton may have influenced Eleanor's style amid rumors of her royal engagement to Samuel Chattel. Samuel Chattel, 28, is with Edinburgh University graduate Eleanor Ekserdjian. Anyway, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What did you just do? Let me see that. TC, thank you for, oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can read the comment. Oh gosh, I don't know how to open that one. Oh, thank you for everything you do. Okay, well, I don't want to say the name, but thank you so much for the very thoughtful Cash App. That was very, very, very kind and generous of you. I really do appreciate that. And thank you for being here tonight. Also, I appreciate that. All right. So I was talking about Marsha Brady, wasn't I? Marsha Brady. It's always about Marsha. Hi, Rohini. It's always about Marsha Brady. Well, this should have nothing to do with Kate, but they love to find some kind of way to insert her name into things because she doesn't show up for work. They have to make it seem as though she's actually pulling the strings and influencing the way people live, work, and play. Well, I'm here to tell you, this has nothing to do with Kitty. Nothing. Sorry about that. See, I'm getting all frustrated and hot. Okay, I had to go and turn that heat down. Go ahead and take notice of the earrings that Kate has on. And then notice the earrings that Eleanor has on. Yes, they are somewhat similar, but not exactly the same. Okay? Rohini. Uh, um, are you sad telling me that there may be another pulled pork sandwich in the works? That he may have jumped on a flight to Poland and gone to some obscure little bistro that no one had ever heard of prior to Willie Leaks? Is that what I'm hearing? Kate wanted to be front and center. Now she's got it, might not be what she wants. Now have no sympathy for her. Thank you, Josephine Woods. Um, Joyce Bo says if she's replacing Meghan, which is a joke, she better with a lot more than they are reporting. Well, okay. To be fair, that was Pakistan Today who said another, not a replacement, another. And in order to get people to read the article, they had to make some association with our Duchess. So I don't know that is well, it's not exactly a compliment, but it's not anything bad, I think. I don't think so. I mean, there was nothing in the wording that was a put down to the Duchess of Sussex. The idea that someone who is an artist, which of course an actress is an artist, and this young woman is an artist, I think maybe that's where they feel there is a similarity. Jill Ryder says, I wonder if he knows how they treated his Granny Margaret. I do hope she's wises up before she marries him. It might be too late, like it was for Kitty Cat. Let's see. Rohini says, I am a recovering royalist baron. I understand. I understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Now, if Kate is going to have some influence on that young lady, I mean, let's just go back for a second. They attribute the influence to those earrings. Okay, Kate's earring doesn't really dangle the same way. The big stone is actually in the teardrop shape that surrounds the diamonds that floats in the middle, whereas um, Eleanor's has it almost looks like there's a little stud earring and then the drop is attached to it. You know what I mean? So the shape is somewhat similar, but not completely identical. Um, Also, let's hope she doesn't influence poor Eleanor because I would hate for Eleanor to go anywhere dressed like the Jolly Green Giant. I would hate for Eleanor to show up at a royal function dressed like Kate's Country Cottage kitchen curtains. Okay? Let's hope that there is no influence whatsoever because this should not happen to any decent young lady that's in love. Let's hope that she doesn't show up looking like the ghost of Wallace Simpson. Let's hope she doesn't show up looking like the ghost of Wallace Simpson. No hips, no bosoms, Wallace. You know what I'm saying? Do not show up looking like the ghost of Wallace Simpson. Or please do not wear a jacket that has an opening to expose the non existent bum. I mean, come on now. What what are we showing people? I'm sure that jacket seemed like a good idea. It looked like something that you may have purchased from, I don't know, Oxford Street, and you thought, oh, I'm going to cause it, right? Only for you to put it on and people just cannot make sense out of it, right? It looks like some type of someone had a sewing class and they were trying to do something innovative. Now, I could imagine someone, that had something to share wearing that, but not not that. Not no. Ooh. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. And of course, I hope the influence of Kate Middleton doesn't carry over to poor Eleanor dressed like Minnie Mouse, right? I don't want Eleanor showing up at some royal function or some art gallery dressed like Minnie Mouse. That wouldn't be fair to Samuel. I mean, after all, he's waited a lifetime to fall in love and to to have a woman by his side, especially when it comes to these family occasions. And I just think that would be, you know what I mean? Or what if somehow she thinks to fit in, she has to buy one of those pitiful coat dresses, huh? Could you imagine those two going about town and such, and she's like, "Ooh, I got to get one of those coat dresses, one of those Amelia Wickstead coat dresses." Where does one even find something like that? And you could see William is distraught. William can't even make eye contact with her because of how awful that coat dress appears. He can't look directly at her. He doesn't know what to make of it. So, um, as a matter of fact,
Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now, yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan. Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now, yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
Yeah. The last time I saw something like that, I think I was watching, I don't know, one of those movies from the 40s or something like that. So, yeah. Another thing that might be a bad influence, what if poor, what's her name? What if she feels like she needs to get into that Mary Poppins couture to fit in? You know what I'm saying? Imagine it being 2024 and that poor young lady gets the wrong idea and believes that in order to be a part of this family, I have to dress like Mary Poppins. I don't really want to, but I may very well have to dress like Mary Poppins. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. The medicine go down. It's just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar. Or what about Mao, the Mao polyester suit? Now, that is one way that she could fit in, but would she really want to destroy her reputation by showing up looking like Chairman Mao, like Kate did when she stepped off that plane in Boston, dressed up like Chairman Mao of the People's Republic? Remember, I was looking for this the other day. Mao polyester suit. Yeah. No royal bride should dress up like Mao. Kate's top look of 2022, Princess of Wales' most searched for outfit, including a daring off-shoulder gown she wore to Top Gun premiere and the demure Jenny Packman design she wore during Windsor Walkabout. They had the nerves. They had the nerves to put together, to compile a list of looks for 2022. This was supposed to be some of the finest moments in fashion. You see what I mean? This is supposed to be some of the finest moments in fashion. They are going out of their way to flatter someone who probably never reads the Daily Mail. She only looks at the pictures. She doesn't read the Daily Mail. She ain't gonna know that y'all kissing up to her. Well, her courtiers will. How about if Samuel's future fiance showed up looking like a windsock? Huh? Is that the style she wants to adopt? Is the windsock? I can't seem to forget you. That windsock stays on my mind. Now, you guys, there is a science to Kate's fashion. Do you remember this article, Kate Middleton's new scientific approach to dressing? Kate's scientific approach to dressing. Duchess has ditched shift dresses for tonal jumpers and coats with sleek trousers to create a polished uniform that simplifies dressing for a busy mother of three. Busy? Busy? When is she busy? She doesn't even work. When is she busy? Busy mother of three? They do make up stuff, don't they? They really do make up stuff. Busy mother of three. I'm surprised they didn't say the mom on the go. The Duchess of Cambridge, at the time she was 39, relies on tonal coats and jumpers with trousers. She stepped out in raspberry jumper and coat from Hobbs on Wednesday. Outfit was similar to one worn by the mother of three on several appearances. The formula, what is it? The formulaic approach to dressing is an easy way to look polished on the go. Now all she needs to do is go somewhere. Now she's got, well, I'm not even going to say that but this was short-lived. I remember she did this. This was short-lived. This was during the global pandemic when she when she started wearing this. It kind of reminds me of Maude. Remember Maude? And then there's Maude, and then there's Maude, and then there's Maude. Yeah, she kind of reminds me of Maude, except for Maude's coats were much, much longer. At this point, I'm believing that Mumbles is trying to appeal to the older royal fanatics because her JCPenney looks are just wrong on so many levels. You got that right. Even Uncle Edwina dresses a jacket dress better. Somebody tell Barron to pull it up. Are you talking of, let me see. Are you talking about the where is it? You're not talking about the maxi coat. You know, I keep that one handy. This one. The very bespoke, one of a kind, artisanal maxi coat, that runway look. a coat that does not exist anyplace else in the British military. And I told you, I thought when they said some woman had fell on her face, I was like, Edward? Because I thought Edward had tripped over that coat. I thought Edward had tripped over that coat because it's so long, see? Yeah. And of course, when they said some woman fell on her face, I'm just like, Edward? Edwina? But it wasn't. And I should have known that because, Edwina got too much style and finesse to fall when she's doing her runway. So let me see. Imagine being a working mom with all that, all of the stresses you face, and people telling you got to look like a drab Mary Poppins. Exactly. Okay. And then I remember this article right here. Duchess of Drab is a mystery of the cosmos. How does a beautiful woman make designer outfits look so frumpy? Because Kate is frumpy. Okay. Kate does not wear the clothes. The clothes are wearing Kate. Not all of her outfits are bad, okay? It's just she doesn't wear them. She doesn't wear her clothes well. She really doesn't. She doesn't walk properly. She's a bit awkward, and that is why most of her outfits looks frumpy. Some of them are just kind of tacky, but a lot of her outfits look frumpy because she is not comfortable in the clothes that she wears. I don't know what Kate wears where she actually is comfortable. Now, I could think of just one outfit off the top of my head where I could say, yes, she got it. Right. And also that maroon coat that she wore the other day with that, that unusual lapel. That was a good moment for her. But for the most part, yeah, she doesn't wear her clothes well. It is really too bad. It's unfortunate because you would think with the height that she can pull off a lot of these things, but she can't. She can't. She's not homely. She just, you know what I mean? She just does not wear her clothes with confidence. She does not wear her clothes with confidence. And then, of course, if you look at this, where she's channeling Jessica Tandy, you see that one on the left at the top? There she's channeling Jessica Tandy. And then she's wearing that. And I promise you, that one with the bow on the collar, that would probably look, well, I've seen it on a model and it looked great. On her, it looks like she ought to be ringing a school bell. It's uninspiring. It's uninspiring. And then that thing that she wore to India down at the bottom, that red and white. I think she wore that to India once. Nothing really looks exciting on her. It's very rare. And then that green dress, Miss Scarlett, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Scarlett. You know what I'm saying? That Gone with the Wind dress, Miss Scarlett, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Scarlett. And then the one all the way on the right, that mint color, I promise you, it seems to me like she has that dress on backwards. It seems like she has it on backwards. And I'm going to imagine that if it is backwards, that is probably an improvement. Knowing her, that is probably an improvement. Miss Scarlett, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. Do you think she was trying to say something about the good old days? The old, is that like a nod to the colonial dress? Yes, I was gonna go there, but this is another one. God forbid that poor uh future fiance should try this hard. I don't think anyone should have ever tried this hard. This is one of Kate's worst fashion moments. And that pose, see how she's posing there on the left side? It's all about that pose for me. That pose gets me every time. Oh, yes, the chicken legs, the raw pack of chicken, the raw chicken legs. This is the one that got her banned from wearing tiaras. I believe this is the one that has caused her to become an outcast to the state visit. And then, of course, there's the Bohemian Kate, that kind of shabby chic. Even that doesn't work. And then, of course, the Irene Ryan when she channeled Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when she decided to go Irene Ryan or Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies. That was another one of those moments that I will never forgive her for. And also, if what is her name? If oh gosh, what was her name? Let me see. Oh yeah, Eleanor. Eleanor, if you're watching, do not let Kate recommend a beautician. Do not go to Kate's beautician. Don't let anybody that touches Kate hair touch your hair, and do not let Kate touch your eyebrows because it could be a disaster. As evident, right? It could be a disaster. Do not follow Kate down the rabbit hole of fashion. It will be your undoing. The public is going to probably feel very hostile toward you if you decide to use Kate as an inspiration. Now, Britain decided to skip the speech. Overnight figures show rank dropped to third place. Total views dropped by over 500,000. BBC One views dropped by almost 1 million. Royal propaganda is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Now, any program that should I say, any television that was on would have carried this because, according to what I've heard, it was on every channel, right? Vengeance Most Foul in second place with an average overnight audience of 9.4 million. The King's annual speech attracted an average of 5 million viewers in comparison. Top 10 most watched shows on Christmas Day. So, as you can see, the King's Christmas address across BBC, ITV, BBC News, and Sky News garnered less than 7 million views. Less than 7 million. The population of the United Kingdom was estimated to be 68.3 million at mid-year. In 2023, a 1% increase from mid-2022. England, 57,690,300. Wales, 3,164,400. Scotland, 5,490,100. Northern Ireland, 0.9 million. So the UK population has been growing for much of its recent history. And yet the audience for the King's speech has shrunk significantly. It's just not so interesting. And they did everything they could to try to pull people in. And just remember, part of this audience belongs to people who may have had the television on. Even if they were not watching it, it counted as a view. Even if they were not watching it, it would still count as a view. So the King's speech, well, nothing really stands out. There was nothing controversial, nothing that informed. It was just the King's speech. Now, I have to play a little soundbite. You know what? We're moving kind of fast. I don't think we'll be on here more than an hour. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to need your help. Okay, yes, we might be here for a minute, but let's see. Now, that is Richard Eden, Rebecca English. I think Rebecca, it seemed like she was able to cross her legs without holding it last week, but who knows? Maybe she's going in the other direction now. And you notice they moved the coffee table because I told you it's so much stress and pressure for her to cross her legs that if she doesn't hold it, she would probably kick over that coffee table. She would jettison that coffee table across the room. So it's very important that she holds that thigh over that knee. Otherwise, it could become very, very violent, right? Okay, now, I want to share with you part of this that I am going to need your help with. Let me find it. I'm going to need your help because I remember things very different from the way,
because he always had something.
okay, from the way they spoke about it. So, let me see. I'm just trying to go right to that spot. That way we don't have to endure any more than necessary. But anyway, they took questions and gave answers. Oh, here it is.
Bet's children won't be. Thanks and love your show. Well, thank you. Parents just let there's a.
And I think they're handling well in their own way.
What a surreal, most of us have to, the chat means something about facts of life for most of us parents, doesn't it? There's a completely different thing in their household.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot for a little mind to take on, I think.
It really is. Well, staying with the royal grandchildren, I should say, and chiming in asks, will Prince Archie's children be a prince or princess? I'm pretty sure Lilibet's children won't be. Thanks and love your show. Well, thank you. Richard, what do you think?
No, they won't. But essentially, the grandchildren of the monarch can be prince and princess. And remember that it was brief that Harry and Meghan wouldn't use titles for their children after the birth.
I do remember
but
that.
Then they underwent a radical change of mind and insisted they were going to be using these titles. So we have an American prince, American princess. But their children won't, because they will be the niece and nephew of our monarch, but not grandchildren. So
now, number one, I do not recall Harry and Meghan saying that they would not use the title for their children. Richard Eden said that there was a brief saying that Harry and Meghan agreed not to use the children's titles. I don't recall that. Let me continue. I'm going to play some more.
I mean, it's like a lot of old English families, Rebecca. It's, you know, the first child takes precedence. Is there any way as a royal that Archie will be marked out different in status to Lilibet?
Well, they could do by issuing something that's called letters patent, which is exactly what Richard was saying. All this boils down to the 1917 letters patent issued by King George V, which is basically an expression of the monarch's wishes. And he made clear that he wanted either his children, the sons of his children, or the eldest living son of the Prince of Wales to be HRHs. Queen Elizabeth adapted that to kind of take account that we're in a much more modern era, so basically allow the girls to have a say. And that meant that if William and Catherine's firstborn child had been a girl, they would have been heir to the throne. But traditionally, yes, in this country, it's what we call primogenitures.
Okay. Now, what she's speaking about is the fact that up until the birth of George, it was always the firstborn male that would be heir to the throne. Queen Elizabeth's father only had girls, so obviously it was Queen Elizabeth, as he was the king, and he was next in line after his brother abdicated. Now, let me see, where am I going with this? Yeah, okay, we're good with that. Let me continue.
It goes with the male line. The royal family have adapted to that. And I know, sorry to kind of go on about it, but I know certainly from the palace, that was an immense moment of frustration for them. The suggestion by Meghan when she did Oprah is that Archie was being treated differently from his cousins. And she suggested, without saying it implicitly, but that's because he was a child of a biracial marriage. And I know this really upset and angered a lot of people, because they said, look, we have explained this to her many times, and she is a smart lady, and we don't understand why she doesn't understand this, that these are the rules, that Archie is not a prince now while Queen Elizabeth is on the throne, but when King Charles is, he will become a prince, and it's their choice as to whether they want to use those HRH titles. Now,
As I recall, they were briefing that Archie and eventually Lily may not actually become prince and princess. As a matter of fact, it was such a big deal that they finally had to go out and say that Charles is going to be so busy when he becomes king, he's not going to think about whether or not the Sussex children are prince or princess. But they were saying that they did not want Harry's children to inherit titles. I remember that. Rohini says the children did not have titles until King Charles became king. Archie will inherit the title of Duke of Sussex, Earl of Dumbarton, and Count of Kinkill. Now, I do recall that Charlotte and Louis were not supposed to have titles. Those titles were only supposed to be conferred upon the death of the queen. They were not supposed to have titles, but the queen gave them the titles. The queen just felt like doing it. She didn't feel like doing it for Archie. She didn't feel like doing it for Lily, but she did it for William's children. Also, William petitioned the queen for Kate to become a princess, to be styled Princess Catherine, before the queen died, and the queen said no. Now, if I got any of that wrong, please let me know, but that's the way I remember it, is that they did not want those children to have titles, and they were trying to get some drumbeat started, angling towards stripping those kids of those titles or preventing them from ever achieving those titles. And that was something that they were floating about publicly, and the only reason why it didn't happen was because Meghan said something on Oprah. But they were trying to prevent those kids from ever inheriting those titles. That's the way I remember it. Let me see. And they would not put those children's titles on the official royal website until Harry and Meghan used the title. They were literally waiting for the Sussexes to do it first. That way, you know, there was no agreement that they were planning to not use them. They were waiting for the Sussexes to use them first. Oh, okay. Ooh, chicken enchiladas. I love those. I'm glad Meghan out the racist royal family plans and fought for her kids' titles. So aggravating what these weasels are doing. Okay. Revisionist history. They were trying to change the rules so that Archie and now Lily would never receive their titles, prince and princess. This was their behind the scene maneuvering tactics. Yes. Leg says Meghan said that they were trying to not give them titles, but pretending that Meghan and Harry wanted it. Also, they didn't give the children titles right away. Exactly. I mean, listen, the tabloids were the ones who declared those children prince and princess the day the queen died. But the royal website would not acknowledge it until Lilibeth's christening. They simply refused to change it. And then when they mentioned Princess Lilibeth, then they said, well, we were waiting for Harry and Meghan to say it first. You didn't have to. You chose to do it. You did not have to. That is something that you chose to do. Joyce Bell says, by the way, thank you, Legs. Meghan stated on Oprah that she was told Charles was not going to change the law. The latest patent, Meghan and Harry question why. Okay, let me do that again. Charles was not going to change the law. The latest patent, Meghan and Harry questioned why. Okay, now I'm not sure I understand that because it would not have, Charles did not have to do anything. Upon the Queen's death, their titles were automatic. So Charles would have actively had to petition Parliament to take those titles away. Otherwise, it would have been in the works. He would have had to go to Parliament, I believe, to get those titles taken away, and then he would issue a letter patent or whatever. But I believe that they were trying to take those titles or prevent those kids from ever receiving those titles. They're literally told Meghan that in an effort for a slimmed down monarchy, the Sussex children will not have titles. That is why she was saying it was in relations to him. Yes, Rohini, it was about security. They also did not want Archie to have security. Okay. I knew you. Let me see if there was anything more to this. Let me see if there was anything left. Let me go ahead and play it.
So, well, it won't surprise you to know we've had a lot of questions about titles, and we're staying with them for Matthew Allen's question, who asks, we all love Princess Anne and admire her remarkable work.
Oh, they're talking about Princess Royale. Will Princess Anne give Princess Royale to Charlotte? It is not hers to confer. Princess Royale will be Anne's title until she's no longer alive. So that was a stupid question. Let me see here. Okay. All right. Okay, correct. Lizzie undid part of George V's 1917 patent for Will's kids. Yes, I thought so. William's children, only the eldest child was supposed to receive the prince title, George, not Charlotte and not Louis. So if I was Harry and Meghan, and Lizzie would not give my children those titles upon birth, leaving my children to the whim of Charles III, who seemed to be hell bent on taking those titles away from them. The only reason why he didn't take those titles is because he was outed. That was the only reason. Otherwise, he'd have done it. Heather Stroud says, I think they were testing the waters about the titles, but then realized Camilla's title as queen was contested by the population. You know, Heather Stroud, I think you have a point there. I think you have a point there because so much of Charles and Camilla's ascension to the throne was incrementally and inch by inch made possible by them floating this and floating that to the public. Like, for instance, them lying, flat out lying, saying that she would be a princess consort. And then they reneged on that. So you're going to make her queen consort, but you're taking the children's titles away? Make that make sense. Not to mention that in all likelihood, they're probably going to try to confer some titles upon Camilla's family at some point. There's going to be an attempt to confer titles upon them. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was some attempt to give titles to the Middletons, which I'm just going to say, I really don't care about the Middletons. And I do believe that in all likelihood, it would be justified to give them some sort of titles, count or whatever. They should. I mean, that's the future queen's parents. But if the future queen is an outcast of the family, then I don't think they should. And we don't know whether or not the two of them are even still together right now. They hate Prince Harry and Princess Meghan and their children. They could care less than a damn. This is just another attack on them babies. And that's why I hate the Unroyals and the British tabloids. Let me see. Lily and Archie by law would be Prince and Princess once Charles became king. Yeah, and Charles was trying to prevent that. The Queen, now this is one, you know, I'm always saying, oh, the Queen couldn't control this. The Queen wasn't controlling that. The Queen was throwing titles every which direction while she was on that throne. She was trying to give titles to Anne's children. She was trying to give titles to who else? Gosh, I can't remember. But anyway, it seemed to me like she was throwing titles all over the place and giving grace and favor homes for a song and a dance. They barely paid any rent. But everything changed with the Sussexes. They had to pay top dollar for their grace and favor, only to be kicked out later. And of course, she didn't feel it necessary to confer those titles on those babies at birth, which she should have. There's no reason why she did not do it. If it's going to happen inevitably, then just do it now and make sure that Charles won't try to take it away. Make sure Charles won't try to take it away. Thank you, Esmeralda. Let me see. Lizzie could have gone a step further and brought back Harry. What is it? His and Her Royal Highness for the great grandchildren of the monarch. Debrett's Peerage changed it immediately on their website. Really? Huh. All right. I did not realize that. Oh, Ray Requell's son says now they're floating Duke of Sussex title not inherited by Archie, but the Queen made it inheritable. I'm not surprised by that. I am not surprised by that. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, because by right, well, not by right, but by tradition, Charlotte should be behind um, Archie in the line of succession. That is something that they've only just changed with the Cambridge children. It was not that way before the Cambridge children. Charlotte would have been behind Archie. Fine Bones Age says also the security issue was the cause of them not getting titles. So she said, well, if the titles will give them secure, thank you. Thank you. Meghan wasn't just stuck on having titles. Thank you so much for remembering that. It wasn't just that Meghan wanted titles. She wanted the security that came with the titles. That is very important. It wasn't that Meghan was hung up on this idea of the fairy tale. She wanted all of the security that came with those titles. Now, at the time, we didn't know that Charles was going to strip them of their security, but yeah, well, at the time they were stripped of their security, weren't they? But that doesn't matter. She wanted the security that came with the title. She wanted all of because you guys, as I was saying about Harry's status as a green card holder or not, Harry may actually have some type of diplomatic protection under U.S. law, as he has worked as a diplomat for the Queen, as he has, or as he is the son of a monarch, a reigning monarch, a head of state. Now, I don't know what that entails according to whatever treaties or agreements between the two countries. We don't know what Harry's status is. We just know that people wants to get into his business. And maybe there is something that lends a privilege or protection to the Sussex children. I really don't know. I don't know who would have the answer to that. But there was one article that said that Harry's status may be very different from what people assume it is. We don't know. He is the son of a head of state. He has worked as a diplomat. Lex says Camilla Tominey admitted the blackmail. She said that King Charles III would have to see what their docuseries and Spare have to say. She said Camilla was a hardline. Okay. I don't remember that, but okay. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for the super chat. That's what they said, but Andrew still has security so long as he's on the Great Windsor Estate. He still has some kind of security on the Great Windsor Estate. So it's not like his home is unsecure. That is still a listed royal property. So as far as being at home, he has security. And it really doesn't matter whether he has round-the-clock security or not, because Princess Anne only has security when she's on royal duty. When she's not acting on behalf of the king, she doesn't usually have security. And she's the one who was nearly kidnapped. Of course, I would be willing to say, as far as Anne is concerned, you know, just one look is enough to prevent any type of breach of security. You know what I'm saying? If Anne fire up one of them Newports and then pull that pick out of her hair, ain't nobody gonna mess with her. All she got to do is fire up one of them Newports and take that pick out of her hair and take her earrings off, and that would be a incident that never happened. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Queen Elizabeth changed it for Charlotte and Louis so that Charlotte would have a higher place than Louis and that she could be called a princess. Otherwise, she should have waited until Charles III. Well, the security just never should have been taken away. It should have never been taken away. Yeah, exactly. The Queen tried to, and well, that's what I was speaking about when I said earlier she was throwing titles everywhere and they didn't want them. But I do believe that she was trying to give titles to Edward and Sophie's children. And I believe that lady, what's her name? You know, Sophie's daughter, on her 18th birthday, she could have taken use of the title, and she turned it down. So, yeah, she didn't want it. Wow, you guys are on fire tonight. I'm loving it. Now, Mary H. says the Queen was being threatened by Charles and William. She needed them for the monarch more to hold back anything from the Sussexes. Sometimes they crossed the line. She helped the Sussexes. You know, I have been of that opinion that she has helped the Sussexes, but um, I'll say this: William pretty much used coercion to get that helicopter from Queen Elizabeth. There was no reason why, as Duke of Cambridge, he should have had that helicopter. Eventually, he got his own helicopter. I don't know how he convinced her to do that, but he got his own helicopter long before. He shouldn't. I don't believe he should have had that type of use of the helicopter until after the Queen died. But he, the Queen, and Charles, all of them were full-time using that helicopter. Although the Queen would often alternate and take the train, I believe that essentially Charles and the Queen were a bit fearful of William. I think they were kind of afraid of him. So William tended to just get whatever he wanted. So I could believe that the Queen was forced in some way to do things that otherwise she would have waited for. But then again, at the same time, she was just throwing those titles all over the place. It's some great comments, and I'm trying not to miss any. Let me see. Before 1917, the HRH and HH, the two different styles. HH was used for great-grandchildren and some married in-laws. George V did away with HH. Now, HH, okay, I know HRH, but what is HH? Okay, so His Highness, Her Highness. His Royal Highness, Her Royal Highness. Okay, I get it. So HH would have just been His Highness. Got it. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm going back the other direction. I feel like I'm missing some good stuff. You have son of reigning monarch. Also, Harry is entitled to U.S. citizenship as spouse of Meghan if UK allows it. My parents' country did not allow dual citizenship, so they chose U.S. Okay. Well, and then don't forget Harry is providing employment, and I forget what that's called, but he's also providing employment. And of course, he he does have, how do they word that, where you have a talent that make you indispensable to the country? So there's that too. I mean, he has multiple reasons why he is a great candidate for citizenship or dual citizenship, but I don't think Harry is interested in citizenship. Not everybody wants to be a citizen. The what is that guy? The guy that is like having a big falling out, Vivek or whatever his name is. His father never became a citizen. He just chose to not ask for citizenship. His mother is a U.S. citizen, but his father, he declined. Parroting various things that I heard at the time. Perhaps it wasn't made as clear to the public. Huh, okay. Let me see. It might be a real possibility that Queen Elizabeth II changed the rules for the Cambridge kids to assure that no descendant of Harry would likely ascend to the throne. Doubt she came to that conclusion without William and Charles. Well, queen or no queen, the heirs to the throne had a great deal of influence on the queen. And she had no choice but to consider everything that they've asked for, anything they wanted, because they are heirs. And, without her input, they can affect changes now that she's dead. So, well, if you think Charles is bad, wait until William becomes king. William is not interested in heading the church in any way whatsoever. I don't think Anne realized that that move would boomerang back on the royal family like it did. Thought Harry and Meghan would come running back. She underestimated their strength. Well, at least she did say that Meghan is smart, right? Would you guys like to listen to that again? Let me know. I'll play it again if you want to listen to it again. I thought it was interesting how seamlessly they seem to misrepresent the events that happened. They totally misrepresented it and said it with a straight face. God, look at the size of those hands. Look at the size of those hands. She could choke an elephant. Okay, I'm going to play it. I want to play it again. Let me go back.
Ian asks, will Prince...
Okay.
Archie's children be a prince or princess? I'm pretty sure Lilibet's children won't be. thanks and love your show. Well, thank you. Richard, what do you think?
No, they won't. So essentially, the grandchildren of the monarch can be prince and princess. And remember that it was briefed that Harry and Meghan wouldn't use titles for their children after the birth.
I do remember
But
that.
then they underwent a radical change of mind and insisted they were going to be using these titles. So we'd have an American prince, American princess, but their children won't, because they will be the niece and nephew of our monarch, but not grandchildren. So.
Well, I mean, it's like a lot of old English families, Rebecca. It's, you know, the first child takes precedence. Is there any way as a royal that Archie will be marked out different in status to Lilibet?
Well, they could do by issuing something that's called letters patent, which is exactly what Richard was saying. All this boils down to the 1917 letters patent issued by King George V, which is basically an expression of the monarch's wishes. And he made clear that he wanted either his children, the sons of his children, or the eldest living son of the Prince of Wales to be HRHs. Queen Elizabeth adapted that to kind of take account that we're in a much more modern era. So basically allow the girls to have a say. And that meant that if William and Catherine's firstborn child had been a girl, they would have been heir to the throne. But traditionally, yes, in this country, it's what we call primogeniture. So it goes with the male line. The royal family have adapted to that. And I know, sorry to kind of go on about it, but I know certainly from the palace, that was an immense moment of frustration for them. The suggestion by Meghan when she did Oprah is that Archie was being treated differently from his cousins. And she suggested, without saying it implicitly, but that was because he was the child of a biracial marriage. And I know this really upset and angered a lot of people, because they said, look, we have explained this to her many times, and she is a smart lady, and we don't understand why she doesn't understand this, that these are the rules, that Archie is not a prince now while Queen Elizabeth is on the throne, but when King Charles is, he will become a prince, and it's their choice as to whether they want to use those HRH titles. So,
well, it won't surprise you to know we've had a lot of questions about titles, and we're
I just don't believe her. I just don't believe her. That is not the way that Meghan expressed that. Now, to be fair, I don't have the Oprah interview to listen to at this moment. I don't know where I would hear that part again. You know what? Let me see if I can find that someplace. And if I can, then I will play that for you all. Let me see if I can find it. You know, Oprah is very guarded about that portion. About any part of her thing, they would take it off of YouTube. So I don't suspect I'm gonna find it. Gosh, I wish I could, but I'm looking through right now. Yep, I'm not seeing it. Oh, you know what? I have to put Oprah in there. That's what's missing.
Was the move about getting away from the UK press, because the press is, you know, is everywhere, or was the move because you weren't getting enough support from the firm?
It was both.
Both.
I needed to do this for my family. This is not a surprise to anybody. It's really sad that it's got to this point, but I've got to do something for my own mental health, for my wife's, and for Archie's as well, because I could see where this was headed.
They didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol. and that he wasn't going to receive security.
What?
It was really hard. Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially.
Okay, let me do that again.
And that he wasn't going to receive security.
This is not a surprise to anybody.
They didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, and that he wasn't going to receive security.
What?
Okay, let me see if I can find another one, because that one is edited a bit. And let me see if I can find another one, because they're not playing the whole thing. Let me try this one.
Looking down, Lloyds were trying to find my dad, offering people so much money to try to find his address.
Did it feel like betrayal when you found out your father would?
Okay, we don't want that part.
Or betrayal. It's because when I, for a month or so, and decided to hold until the Sunday before our wedding because they liked her own children one day. Well, I'm talking about your grandchildren. So I can't, I mean, I look at Archie, I think about this child, and I go, I genuinely can't imagine doing anything to intentionally cause pain to my child. I can't imagine it. So it's hard for me to reconcile that.
So your father being hunted down, it seemed like...
Okay.
People that I really don't know. But I grew up as an only child.
There's distant... His sad... I don't either. From what I can tell, it's going...
Okay, I don't think it's available in that one.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
And
who is having that conversation with you? What?
So,
there is a conversation. Hold up. Stop right now.
There's several conversations.
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Ooh. And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
I think that would be very damaging to them.
Okay.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work.
Okay.
Royal news, the royal family's official web.
In Meghan, because...
All right. I think that's enough. Yes, and I cannot find the entire. Let's see. Meghan talked about the George V convention. Is that clip? It doesn't play it in its entirety. It kind of chopped. They chopped bits and pieces of it. I will try to find it for tomorrow, but I'm skipping through all of these different ones, and that first one was like the best, and it just does not have the entirety. But I think we got enough to know that it was attached to security. It was attached to the security. Meghan's concern, oh, by the way, thank you for the super chat, was in connection to Archie, or, you know, boy or girl, the security. Oh, that would be great. That would be great. Okay. Well, there you have it. Those hands are frightening, though, aren't they? Look at how big her hands. I mean, it's just her hands and her face is so exaggerated. She scares me. I'm frightened. Yeah. Do you remember when Camilla Tominey said that they didn't want Archie to inherit the title Earl of Dumbarton because it had the word dumb in it? And the only person that was dumb was Camilla Tominey. And even Robert Jobson had to straighten her out and remind her that Harry is the Earl of Dumbarton, and Archie could not inherit the title while his father is alive. Camilla Tominey was so anxious to try to embarrass the Sussexes. She, as a so-called royal reporter, royal expert, failed to realize that there is already an Earl of Dumbarton, and that's Harry. But she was so... Is that what that is? I was wondering. I still say she looks like that guy from the Quaker Oats. She looks like the Quaker Oats man. I am still seeing the guy from Quaker Oats. Let me see if I can find him. Quaker. See what I mean? Just reminds me of the Quaker Oats man. I wonder if that's a relative. Oh, well. Thank you, sister. Okay, you guys, I'm going to move on from this. I'm going to move on. Thank you so much for your comments. This was interesting. Now, sweet moment teacher who traveled from France to meet royal family tells Kate her work in early years meant everything to him. And Not My King says this Daily Mail quote is made up. Now, I didn't hear the actual exchange between Kate and this guy, but truth is, I couldn't understand what they were saying. But apparently, they're of the opinion that this was made up. So there's the French teacher there on the left side, and they are trying to say that he mentioned the early years. Maybe I don't know, maybe he made reference to children or something like that. And the Daily Mail just wants people to believe that it had something to do with early years. The thing is, I don't know what early years means. Kate couldn't explain it. If I want to know about early years, you know what I would do? I would talk to the girl who originally spoke at the TED Talk. She's the one that knows about the early years. It has been alleged that Kate's people plagiarized her TED Talk. That point by point, even though the wording is different, it seems to have been lifted from the young woman's TED Talk. Hearing from teachers and parents helped me understand the need to support children before school. Well, if you have to listen to teachers and parents to learn that your children need support before school, maybe you shouldn't be a parent. Which led me to science of our early childhood and lifelong impact on our physical and mental well-being. Word salad. Word salad. Can you say word salad? Word salad. Now that is word salad at its best. Clearly, word salad. Now, to be fair, as you know, occasionally we reach out to Kensington Palace just for clarity.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Let me see. What does that say? Cannot see that very top part up there. Okay, there it is. Sorry, Kate. It's been done before by someone so much younger, and what's more important, everyone can understand this little lady. Hashtag cosplay Kate, hashtag Princess Mumbleton. Now, that was a quote of one of the squatties, Princess Mumbleton. But yeah, been there, done that. We've heard it before. Our healthy development depends on these top 5 things. Does that sound familiar? Top 5? I can create up to 1 million neural connections every second. Does that sound familiar? People have accused Kate of plagiarizing Molly Wright. Everything that the Cambridges and now the Welleses has done, there is a parallel to it someplace else in the world, whether it's the Earthshot, early years, shaping us. What else? What's the other one that William is talking about? Anyway, all of these things seems to have a parallel someplace else. It's a mirror reflection of someone else's work. The only thing is, this little girl, what is she, 10 years old? It took Kate 10 years to come up with 5 questions, or it took Kate 10 years before she just copied what this young lady spoke about. And the fact that they have gotten away with it, they've gotten away with it. There has not been one single occasion where Kate has articulated what is supposed to be her life's work. This brave young woman stands on a TED Talk stage and confidently rattles off all of this information. Whereas Kate, a 43-year-old woman, could not do this to save her life. And it's not because she's not a public speaker, it's because she's not familiar with the material. She doesn't know any of this stuff. I am willing to bet you she doesn't know any of this stuff. In order to make Kate look credible, in order to lend any kind of credibility, whether it's children or adults, they sit Kate at a table in a prominent position so that she can interact with the people at the table. The only difference is, with most people, you can hear parts of the conversation. They wouldn't, for anything in this world, allow you to hear what Kate is saying. First of all, you would not likely understand it. Second of all, she doesn't know the material. She just doesn't. It's a joke. It is a joke. And the only way that they have been able to make her look somewhat credible is do everything you can to tear down other people, meaning Meghan. And therein lies my frustration. In order to lift her up, it's an all-out assault on Meghan. It's not fair. By the way, this is the last slide, you guys. Agree, given the complexities, societal, political ramification of the issues, Kate's approach isn't the best or sustainable way forward. As you said, the goods being delivered right now feel light. Shall we say a stunt? Rather, Molly is right. Sorry, Kate, it's been done before by someone so much younger. And what's more important, everyone can understand this little lady. Again, cosplay Kate, Princess Mumbleton. So there you have it. First 5 years, our health and development, especially our brains. So that is the early years. The early years is Molly Wright. And Molly Wright is the early years. Kate is an alleged plagiarizer. Alleged, I said, alleged. Alleged. For the lawyers listening, it has been alleged that she has plagiarized Molly Wright. Alleged. So, there you have it. Thank you so much, everyone. Leg says, Kate still learning. Edward, don't have a pen. What's that? PR? Edward don't have a pen. Kate still learning. Edward don't have a pen. PR. Well, thank you very much, Legs. Now that one went over my head. But thank you very much. Let me see. Absolutely true, Baron. Kate cannot stand on her own. She doesn't have what it takes. Exactly. Let me see. Kate was given flashcards with concepts to which one was easiest for her to comprehend. With a small degree of sincerity, they dressed her up and gave her an empty notepad, a briefcase, to do busy work. That's what they call busy work. All right. We're good, you guys. It's been almost 2 hours anyway. I thought it might go a little bit over. Oh, let me see. They do PR, but not impact. Kate said she was still learning when she went to food. Yes, to a food bank. I remember that. Edward on Royal Tour said he doesn't have a pen when the nation wanted to talk about representation. Got it. Got it. That was when he was sitting across that table. Got it. Thank you so much. Yep, I remember that when they went on that when they went to that food bank with those cameras, they stayed 55 minutes. I believe they brought 8 camera people, camera and videographer. And when the lady was trying to interact with Kate, she was like, well, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. You're about to get the best education you ever had, because when they throw the Middletons out on their ears and leave them penniless, you might get of course, they're never going to leave Kate penniless. She's the future mother of she's the mother of a future king. So they'll never allow her to be poor. Neither her or her grifter family. Good night, soul brother. Oh, yes, December 28th. December 28th. That was when they rushed toward the hospital. Yes, it's been a year. Thank you for reminding us. December 28th. Christmas Day was the last confirmed public sighting of Kate until Trooping the Colors. December 28th, that motorcade rushing toward the hospital. Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, we'll get back on it tomorrow. Thank you all very much. And don't forget, we are going to be together New Year's Eve. And we're going to go through all 4 of the U.S. time zones, wishing a happy new year to the squad. I'm trying to remember last year, did I come on early for the UK? I'm trying to remember, did I come on early for the UK and then I came back later? I'm going to think about that though, because there's a 6-hour difference from my time zone. So 5 hours for the East Coast. So maybe we'll come on a little early. Pardon me. Maybe we'll come on a little early for people in the UK and then come back later for the US. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. That could be fun, though. That could be a lot of fun. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much to the Mod Squad, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. Also, do consider a membership to Royal Sussex for the price of a cup of coffee. You can help support this channel. I love that picture of Kate. That came from Celebici. They hand-picked that one where her mouth is askew. Yes, with her mouth askew. Oh, well, it is going to be a very interesting year, and Harry's going to start the year in court. If 2025 is anything like 2024 for the Sussexes, they are going to have a very busy year. Oh, I tell you, the way we spent this year with the Sussexes is so much more than what I expected. But I am so grateful for it. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be on the right side of history. That I am, for certain, to be on the right side of history. Yeah. Yep. The plot thickens, huh? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, thank you very much. Lydia Washington has just posted the membership link. There it is at the top of the chat. You can click on that link and sort out a membership for Royal Sussex. Now, some people say that that one does not work. Let me see. Because I just clicked on it and it, okay. When you click on that one, there's another link inside of that link. There's another link that takes you to it. That's okay. I just figured that out. So I think that one is more direct, perhaps. Okay, so I'm going to test that theory. That takes me there. And then there's when you scroll down to the image of Afro Annie, right? When you see Afro Annie, there's a link just above her head, and that takes you to another link. See it? Ha! There we go. There's another link. I'm going to have to make sure I put that one on the community tab. Yep. I see links of blue everywhere. Wait, no. I see thumbnails of blue everywhere I go. There's a copycat of the Royal Sussex show, and I think to myself, what a crappy world. If you know, you know. Yeah, I think to myself, what a crappy world. The border at the base of the thumbnail is royal blue. I started that 3 years ago. Now someone else is doing it too. Ah, you like that? I made that up just now. Yes, of course I want to stick to it. That is so rude, though. I mean, it's not illegal, but that has been the Royal Sussex brand since the beginning. I've never used one of those thumbnail makers. I just kind of made this little generic thing myself of various sizes and shapes. And now someone else is doing it. I just, and that whole thing about imitation, that is not flattering. It's a bit rude. Okay, CK said, finally got in a week ago after Barron posted a different link. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, you have to do that different link to get to it. But yeah, when you go to that one, then there's a link inside of the link. Very, very strange. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, let me see. The kids are kept between Weeble Wobble Willie and Kate. Seems whenever they are out walking or sitting these days, keep them from one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's several images of in the past, like when they're walking and holding hands, you always have them on either end of the children for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, we just used December the 28th because of the race to the hospital. But if you recall, I mentioned that Kate looked a bit haggard before that. She had before she was wearing the hair pieces, then she was wearing full-on wigs, right? What else? And significant weight loss. She had gotten smaller than we've probably ever seen her before. And more bandages or plasters on her hands. But she aged a lot. She aged a lot. There were so many signs of it. And she was a very shattered person after Endgame came out. And it seemed as though with Endgame, I mean, let's face it, everyone has been implicated as potentially the races except for William. Everyone has been implicated but William. Camilla, Charles, Kate, Princess Anne, but not William. And as far as I'm concerned, the only person in the family that I could imagine would be a sibling that is suffering from sibling rivalry, brought on by sibling rivalry. It seems to me like something a sibling would say to another sibling in order to hurt them as in the worst possible way. Yeah. I could not imagine anybody else would have said, and what do you think? And how is that going to look for the family? What would that look like for the family? That part made me believe that it was William. That part made me believe it was William when it was said, we're concerned about how dark the baby will be and how is that going to look like? How is that going to look for the family? That screamed, in my opinion, William. Just my opinion, but to me that screamed William. I'm always going to believe it was him. Let's see. Isn't a new thing. I kind of thought they followed the hierarchy mess when they aren't forcing Louis out of the pictures or ceremonies. You know, Louis is not, he doesn't have that energy that he had some time ago. I'm not even going to speculate what may be different about him, but I was very hurt every time I heard someone say, I can't wait to see what Louis is going to do. I thought that was damaging to the child. That they would create some expectation or self-fulfilling prophecy that could be damaging to Louis. That they had already decided that he should be the court jester, that he should be the troubled one. And I hope that that is not going to be his future. They should leave that kid alone. Let him be whatever he's going to be. Let me see here. What's that? I watched the podcast. It dragged her so hard my scalp hurt. She also mentioned the kids sticking close to William and their demeanor on Christmas Day. Hazel, send me that link in my email. I promise you I'll check it tonight. I'd like to see that one. Oh yeah, that text message. Well, that's your brother. Well, you guys, I am nosy and I really, really want to know what the status is of the Cambridge's marriage, right? I would love to know where everyone in the family reside. Their predominant residence and then their, weekend place? I'd like to know that. I would love to know what Kate's medical situation was. Was there, did somebody try to tighten her hat? Right? Did somebody try to tighten her hat? What happened? There's a few questions I have. And it's not like it's going to be the most important thing in the world to me, but I am curious as to what happened, why Kate suddenly became why she looked so broken before Christmas last year. Let me go back to that from yesterday. I'm going to go back to the slide from yesterday. See there? That was Kate Christmas in the green, and that was last year. This is Louis actually in front of her. They just exited the church. And when she flashes that smile, it changes everything for her. But in those unguarded moments like that, that's when you really have to wonder exactly what's going on. Yeah, so that was yesterday. Also, the Christmas Carol. The Christmas Carol was not about Kate. It was about the kids, as far as I'm concerned. The Christmas Carol, the appearance of the kids upset me. They were not smiling. They smiled the year before. They were not smiling this past Christmas Carol. So something was not right. Good morning, Patricia Ann Franklin. Boy, my throat is bad tonight. I better get off of here. Oof, okay. Okay, Hazel says, I think they're separated. William is at Anmer and Kate is at Wood Farm. When Fergie's kids were small, the Queen put her at Wood Farm so her kids could see her Christmas afternoon. Okay. I believe William is at Windsor Castle. I don't see any reason why he would not just stay at Windsor Castle. I mean, he's going to inherit that place, soon. So why wouldn't he just stay there instead of, but then again, I'm sure he'd rather be someplace that's comfortable, and maybe Windsor Castle is not the most comfortable place to live. There's always that possibility. Maybe it's too formal, Be interesting to find out, though. Is he at Animal Hall? And then also, when he needs to let off some steam, he could always go to Kensington Palace. I mean, isn't that where the staff is working from, Kensington Palace? Although I shouldn't think he spends much time with his staff. Yeah, well, Kate looked horrible. I thought I would contribute most of that to the end game. The end game seemed to really not really, it wasn't the start of her problems, but it amplified everything else that was going wrong. Oh yeah, I mean, I do have a photo of that from yesterday. Let's see, where is it? Right here, where they say that Princess Kate makes hilarious quip to fans as she realized Louis, Charlotte, George, and William are waiting for her. Mm. I hope so, sister, because I am growing impatient. I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened. I want everything. I want to know why they had a trip to the hospital on the 28th. I want to know exactly what the surgery was about, all of those things. And also, why was there, what was the need for the children to stay out of sight for 6 months? George was the only one that made an appearance, maybe 2 appearances, but Charlotte and Louis were nowhere to be seen. To the best of my recollection, they were not seen until Trooping the Colors. A full 6 months, the children were not seen. There were things that they could have done to reassure the public. One of which I still say is the Easter church service. Why not have William take the kids to church on Easter? They did not. They just kept the children out of sight. They always walk over to St. George Chapel on Easter. But this past year, nothing. It would have reassured the public in the continuity of the royal family. Nothing. Bearing witnesses are generally kept in hiding. So she was in the witness protection program. They located her in Texas, I believe. Okay, you guys, let's call it a night. I see there's still 980 people here. I really do appreciate it. And for those of you that are there liking, those of you that are new subscribers or hopefully will be new subscribers, thank you very much. It is interesting stuff. And I know for some people, it's like, oh, I'm just here for Harry and Meghan. I am here for the gossip. I want the tea. I want the dirt. I want to know it all. Yeah, I want to know it all. I don't want to make up things. I just want to debate over whether certain things are true or not true, but we don't make up stuff here at Royal Sussex. You guys don't make up stuff. You say things to the best of your ability, to the best of your knowledge, and that is very fair. I don't believe anyone is making up things. There's always you all reinforce everything with reason. It's not done out of hate or hostility. It is deductive reasoning. And I think that's what sets us apart from the derangers. We don't have any hatred toward any of those people. We don't necessarily like the way that they have done things, but it's not based on a hatred. It's just making sure that they're accountable. That's it. Hazel says they have to settle things soon. Is she going to be crowned or not? Yeah, there's no rule that she has to be crowned. There's no rule that says she has to go through the formality of, but then again, we don't know if William is going to have much of a coronation. William may not want a coronation or may not want the big coronation. He may decide to forego the whole thing. The Duke of Windsor, what was he? Edward the Eighth, was he? He never had a coronation. They don't have to. William was never confirmed as the Prince of Wales. He just was, right? His father conferred the title, and that was that. That does not happen automatically. That one must be conferred by the sovereign. So that happened. But he did not want to go through the whole ceremony. William's not a fan of the robes and garters and all that stuff. He's not a fan. He's not a big fan of that. William may dramatically change the royal family. He may dramatically change it. A lot of those ceremonies may become a thing of the past. You can't know what he's going to do. He hasn't really spoken about it. He just said, I'm going to do things different from my father. Whatever that means, we'll find out in due time. Yeah, I mean, she would still be considered queen, but she just will not have gone through the ceremony, right? But they would still call her queen. I mean, the Duchess of York is still Duchess of York. She uses the surname York, as far as I know. So, but she's no longer an HRH. Is it true that William cannot divorce her when he becomes king? I don't think so. As head of the church, certainly not. I don't think so. I mean, I know there's the whole Henry VIII thing, but would the Church of England be willing to annul the relationship or their marriage, should I say? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I thought that once he becomes king, automatically she is Queen Catherine. Okay. That sounds reasonable to me. The wife of the king is the queen according to British law. Parliament would have to make a law. The Duke of Windsor was prepping for coronation. he didn't last a year. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think that he refused it, but I just thought that he had never got around to it. But he was still king. So yeah, I didn't suspect he refused it. Huh. See, I was so excited when I took a trip to New York and saw the glass ball that would be dropped the coming year. Oh, you mean for the New Year's this year? Now, in all of the history of the United Kingdom, has there ever been a king consort? I don't believe that that's possible, is it? Yeah, I don't think that there could be a king consort. And didn't Queen Elizabeth, didn't she have to confer the title Prince Philip, that he was not a prince in the eyes of the British um, r- royal family or something like that? I thought his title of prince. I thought that the Queen gave him the title prince so that Charles would not outrank him. Is that right? I thought the Queen had to confer the title of Prince Philip, of a prince, so that Charles would not outrank him. And it's true that Philip had to renounce any claims to the throne of Greece, right? He had to renounce all of his Greek titles so that he could be married to the queen. Well, Philip was already a prince, but he had to become a prince of, Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, right? Okay, he was king, but not consecrated. In the UK, women take their husband's title. Men do not take their wives' title. Wait, who was king? Are you saying Edward VIII? Also, I heard that the Greek royal family wants their citizenship back. I think I just read somewhere they want their citizenship back. By the way, when you guys Google and AI comes up, do not believe everything AI says because that AI makes a lot of mistakes. Have you guys noticed that? If you Google and you read AI as the first thing, that AI makes a lot of mistakes. I still prefer Wikipedia. I still prefer Wikipedia. AI makes a lot of mistakes, and they also make a lot of general statements. They do not give you much by way of detail. Okay, they put Philip through a lot of unnecessary foolishness. He was already a UK citizen according to the Act of Settlement. Yes, Edward VIII. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, I just don't bother with AI. I'd rather go to Wikipedia. The AI makes a lot of mistakes. AI does not give you details. I would rather read articles, source a few articles than to accept AI. AI is just very vague. Members of the Greece former royal family have been granted Greek citizenship, ending a decades-old dispute with the country's government. Okay, I thought I saw that. Oh, thank you very much, Hazel and Sister. Oh, I see Sister says, I think they got it back. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me just say that term pulled pork sandwich, that evolved from William's trip to Poland. That was something I made up. That was in regards to William's trip to Poland. If that ever became part of the lexicon, I will take full credit for it. If that ever was in reference to that, I would take credit for it, because that's where I began using that term because of William's trip to Poland when he went to that LGBTQ bistro and he ordered the pulled pork sandwich. So if you ever wonder where did that term come from, that is where it comes from. That is my way of saying what I think William prefers: a pulled pork sandwich. uh, do you recall the single dad campaign that Willie started? Yes, I do. Upon Kate's hospital maintenance, I think that was the transition and was missed and I'm sorry. I think that was the transition and was missed it. Okay. But yeah, I do remember when they had the campaign of single dad. William issued tweets or statements, press statements that were issued where William used the cipher that he used before his marriage to Kate. That was not by chance, that was deliberate. All of 2023, all we heard was there is going to be a divorce, a royal divorce, and that only stopped after the 17th of January, 2024. Then they stopped saying divorce, divorce, divorce. That's when it stopped. And during that period of 2023, we were told that William was going to travel alone, that William and Kate were not going to do things together as often. Everything seemed to be the writing on the wall. divorce, divorce, divorce. And then all of a sudden, it didn't happen. What's that? Anyway, professors for both of my master's programs had a standing rule not to use Wikipedia for collegiate sourcing. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that. I wouldn't suggest that. But Wikipedia is just written by people. The AI is drawn from various sources. So AI gives you a very vague response to solid questions. And like anything, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So you can always check more sources. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest to use it for college. I would assume that you would go, a more direct route. But for everyday things, I use it. But I've just been very disappointed with AI. AI seems to be almost like the politically correct version, where they just give you a bunch of general information. There's no details, or not enough details, should I say. Good morning, Tilly Malone. Okay, Google Internet research has become highly curated. Does that mean it's good or bad? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Okay. Okay, I see that. AI is wait a minute. Um AI also uses highly trafficked websites to learn. Some concepts are pulled from popular royalist websites, for example, and cites some of that material. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. AI is art, they call it artificial intelligence, but it's not really using logic. It's certainly not using logic as a person would apply logic. So you have to be very careful with it. I don't trust it. I do not trust it. Oh, let's see. I still write for Wikipedia and stand in a role with rollback privileges to remove inappropriate material from the article. Yeah. Well, very cool. I never knew anyone who wrote for them. I don't trust it. I do not trust it. Good night, Denise Marcus. I hope all goes well. A hoot nanny. I haven't heard that in a while. Okay. Yeah, I just get the feeling that the AI will paint the royals in a way that they do not deserve. Oh yeah, Tilly, please do use it. Yeah, please do use it. I think that's fantastic. Please do use it. Which, by the way, remember for the new year that I promised that I was going to work on some merch. I'm going to work on some merch for Royal Sussex. Probably on on the 3rd of January. Let me take a look at the dates here for January, see what day of the week that is. I'm going to do a members only. I believe I can do that live, but I'm going to do a members only live chat. So look forward to that. Let me see here. The 3rd is a Tuesday. I guess no, it's not. Let me see. The 3rd is a Friday. I guess that works. But that's about as good as day as any. So maybe on the 3rd. Yeah, maybe on the 3rd. I be just about an hour mug, please. I don't understand. Oh, well, as far as the merch is concerned, I wanted to do something for the members, not really to make money, but just a thank you to some of the long-term members and such. So yeah, that one is not really for a moneymaker. And really, when you do any of the merch, they don't. Most of the money for the merch that you order, it goes to the manufacturer, which is not a problem. I mean, it's I don't care about that. I mean, long as you have what you want, that is the more important thing. But yeah, merch doesn't really move the dial that much. It is really just a way to promote the channel, which is a good thing. Let's see. Huh. Last rewrote and edited the article substitute check in the United States based on my previous job working in Treasury management and Federal Reserve paper and electric check operations. Well, that's a mouthful. That is a mouthful. Well, good for you. I am very, very impressed. All right. Okay. Wow. It's going on 3 hours, you guys. I'm getting out of here. I am so getting out of here because I got some errands to run tomorrow. So I got to get up early and out. Wait, tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yeah, I think so. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still here. I was reading something. Let's see. Let me get rid of this. Put that back up there. I'm going to hide my face. Oh, joy. The microphone did not go out today. That's a good thing. Don't check your clock. Oh, you want some Baronisms on coffee mugs or t-shirts. All right, some Baronisms. Wait, I got Baronisms? Of course I do. No, I'm still here. I was reading something. At least I think you can still hear me. I was reading something. Yeah, I was trying to sound out the big words. That's why I got quiet. I was trying to sound out all the big words. But I was thinking like a tote bag or something like that. You know, like a Royal Sussex. I love tote bags. A Royal Sussex tote bag. And of course, Royal Sussex ink pens, right? Some fun stuff. Useful things you could actually use. Hello, Ivy here. Hey, what's up, squad? Wait, hey, I can't even do it tonight. Okay. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Good night, cookies and cream. Thank you for being here. Okay, good night, everyone. Love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Let me see. What are we going to play out with? What are we going to do? Our outro. What is playing out? What are we going to play out with? Let me see what I got already. Oh, I don't have anything. Let me see. Yeah, may as well. Ginger Avenger. Okay, we're going to close with the Ginger Avenger. Right on.